What's up, fellas? Today we're going to talk about communication in our marriages. If you're like me, you've probably walked into what you thought was a normal conversation with your wife and you tried to help and somehow ended up in a full-blown argument that left both of you feeling more hurt than when you started. If your words keep turning into landmines instead of bridges, here's the deal. You are probably stuck in one of the 6 communication traps that really maybe quietly destroy the emotional safety in your marriage. So stick with me for the next few minutes. We're going to talk about this and I'm going to help expose every trap so that you can see exactly how it shows up in your marriage and then what God says about our words. And I'm going to give you a super simple tool that has turned more marriage fights into understanding than anything else I've used in counseling. And by the time we're done, you're going to know these traps, you're going to recognize these traps, and you're going to be able to spot them in yourself. And then you're going to know why even good intentions can wound your wife. And I promise, if you put these into practice, it will radically change the communication in your marriage. And this isn't theory from a guy who's never blown it. Like, this is from a husband who used to think listening meant me waiting for my turn to fix things, and learned the hard way that it actually doesn't. So here's the tension that a lot of us carry, but almost never recognize, is that we believe words have power of life and death. We believe we're called to love our wives like Christ loved the church. We believe that God hates divorce, and we also believe that He wants our marriages to thrive. We also believe that we're supposed to be the spiritual leader in our home, but deep down inside, we also quietly believe that maybe I'm just not going to ever be good with words, or if I say the wrong thing, it's just going to make everything worse anyway. Or real men fix problems; they don't sit around talking about feelings. This is a huge one. Or maybe you feel like your wife is just too sensitive anyway, so you end up doing one of 2 things. You either overtalk and try to fix everything, and then she feels dismissed, or you close down and withdraw, and she feels abandoned. Either way, the emotional safety dies, and then once that happens, trust begins to erode, and your marriage will slowly suffocate. I see this cycle over and over. And the brutal truth is that you are always going to communicate more consistently with the identity you believe about yourself than with the verses you've memorized about marriage. So let me own this up front. Some of the worst fights in my marriage were 100% my fault because of how I talked or didn't talk to my wife. I have dismissed her, I've interrupted, I've deflected, I've kept score, I've stonewalled, I've used sarcasm as a weapon instead of being honest. I have used silence as a shield. So I'm not sitting here as the perfect husband by any means. I'm sitting here as a man who's had to turn away from that, had to repent, had to learn, and had to change, because at the end of the day, my wife and my family deserve better. So here's the deal. About 7 years ago, my wife came to me and sat down and said, Josh, when I bring something up to you, I don't feel like you actually hear me. I feel like you just want to try to fix everything, and you're actually not hearing what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and I just feel dismissed. Or I feel like you just want to argue with that. And in that moment, I couldn't deny that, because I actually realized that's what I do most of the time. And so she says, I feel like you kind of put me second to everything else when you want to just come in and fix the problem really quick so that we can move past it. And that conversation kind of wrecked me, because I honestly thought that I was helping. I thought that listening meant, well, I'm going to gather data so I can give the solution. It's pretty simple. Turns out that listening actually means making her feel understood first. And that one realization changed everything in my marriage. So here are the 6 traps I've seen in my own marriage and I see all the time in counseling. One is the fixer trap. You hear a problem, your brain immediately jumps to solution. She says, well, I'm overwhelmed. You say, well, here's what you should do then. And the result is, whether we feel like that's a right solution or not, is she feels dismissed, not loved. There's a big difference in our wives coming to ask us for advice on something versus sharing their hearts with us. And us men, we're wired to solve problems, but emotional connection is oftentimes our struggle, and that only happens when she feels heard, not fixed. The second is the mind reader trap. So you assume she knows what you're thinking or feeling, so you don't say it. Or you assume you know what she means and respond to the version in your head. This is super easy to do, and we almost do it without even thinking, and the result is you have massive miscommunication and resentment. And then the third is the defender trap. The second she brings something up, your walls go up and you defend, or you explain, or you justify. Oh yeah, but last week you just, and then the result is she feels like she's on trial instead of in a marriage that's meant to be healthy communication. And the fourth is the scorekeeper trap. So every conversation becomes a courtroom where offenses are presented as evidence, and you can't address today's issues because you're still litigating an offense from 2020. So these are the things we got to be careful of. Number 5 is the stonewaller trap. And this is one that a lot of guys fall into. When conversation gets too heavy or too much that you want to deal with at the moment, you shut down or you leave the room to cool off. Well, most of the time when you leave the room to cool off and you come back, you really don't want to continue having that conversation. So there are times that we should definitely not respond right away, and times that we need to actually go process through some thoughts and then come back. But most of the time that I've found in my own life and people I counsel with is they use that cool off time to just bury it and pretend like it didn't exist, and then it definitely comes back later. And the result is she feels abandoned in the exact moment she actually needs you to be present. And these are all hard things, but they will transform. And the last is the sarcasm or contempt trap. Little eye digs, little eye rolls, mocking tones that is disguised as humor. In fact, research actually says that contempt is a #1 predictor of divorce. As soon as that contempt starts coming in, you need to really watch out. God calls it sin. See, God isn't silent on how we ought to be talking. In fact, in James 1, we're told to be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Proverbs 15 says that a gentle answer turns away wrath. Ephesians, don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building up the body, which includes our wives. So I'm going to give you a simple tool to help you in these situations. It's called mirror listening. It's something widely known, widely used in counseling, and actually effective in all areas of life, whether you're in a meeting, at work, dealing with your kids, having a conversation with your wife, wherever. And it's called mirror listening. And it's the one practice that has probably saved more marriages in my office than anything else. And it takes like 2 minutes and works every single time. So what you need to do, stop everything, put your phone down, turn the TV off, full eye contact with your wife. Let her finish what she's sharing with you. Don't interrupt, don't defend, don't try to explain, just mirror back exactly what you heard. Hey babe, so what I'm hearing you say is, did I get that right? And then wait for her response. If it's yes, that's what I'm saying, great, you guys are now ready to move on more into the communication. Or if it needs correction, then you've actually brought clarity into the conversation before it's too late. And only after she responds do you respond. And start with validation. That makes sense why you feel that way. I understand why you feel this way. Do this once, and she'll feel safer and be more willing to open up with you, and her heart will soften probably more than it has in years. And you do this consistently, even for 30 days, I promise you'll start seeing the emotions of your wife begin to open back up to you. Listen, words can give life or death to our marriages. Every single day we have that opportunity. And so pick one trap you recognize from today and repent of it. Turn away from it tonight, and then start mirror listening this week. Next time you're in a conversation with your wife, as you start to realize you're thinking of a response, or you're thinking you know what she actually means, just slow down and say, so babe, what I'm hearing you say is this, and wait for her to respond. Hey, comment which trap hits you the hardest. I read every comment, and if this was helpful, pay it forward and share this with someone you know who is struggling. Stick around for more. We're just getting started.